I have Marina Mabrey and Alyssa Thomas taking questions in the room and then on Zoom. Who'd like to start? Anybody at all? Thank you.
For Marina, AT checked in back in the game midway through the fourth there, and that really sparked your guys' just late game surge. What is it about her and just her presence on the court that makes that collective team response?
Yeah, I mean, just for the other team, like having played against her so many times, she's really aggressive and really intimidating defensively. So, you can say you're not worried about it, but you are. So, yeah, she gave us that spark, she gave us that energy and kind of just like that will to win factor. And, when she does that, everybody kind of like jumps on board and tries to do everything they can to match that energy.
Azar Johnson from MB Media. For both you guys, it always seems like you in Minnesota always play tough, come down to the wire. If it's either just one thing or maybe a few things, what's one of the few things or one of the things that they do that they seem to keep pulling it out in the end?
I mean, honestly, we should have, made some adjustments earlier in the game. I think, we made an adjustment in fourth with 6 minutes left that really changed the game. So we saw some things that were beneficial for us. But yeah, I mean, we always go back and forth with them. They're a well-oiled machine. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot to take from this. We see how playoff standings are, and there's a possibility we get another chance. And yeah, we're excited.
Any other questions?
Yeah, Alyssa, with one game left before the playoffs start, what do you feel that you all need to, tighten up or tweak or adjust to get ready for that?
I think today was everything we needed. We had a hard fought game where we battled back, and I mean, we could have easily given up, but we knew what we're capable of. We knew what we can do defensively against them. If we come out with that same intensity from the beginning, possibly it could be a different game. But I mean, they hit tough shots down the end, contested shots. So we have nothing to hang our heads on. Eventually they were going to get one against us, and we'll go back, watch the video, and be ready for next game and get ready for playoffs. Yeah.
For the outside, clearly not anybody in this room, but some people might say Connecticut's in the top four, so that alone is an accomplishment. But some people might say, see, they're now dropped to the third seed, possibly the fourth. They might not be the team that we think they are, and they might be what's the word I'm looking for? Open to being knocked out. What's your message to the doubters, anybody that thinks that you guys are going to be somebody that they can take on?
I mean, I don't think it matters if we're 1 or 12. I think everyone always has the same opinion about us. I mean, we've been a 1 seed and still people don't pick us, but honestly, we just don't care. I mean, people are going to say what they want to say, but at the end of the day, most people just look at the box scores. But if you actually watch the game and watch what we're doing, I mean, we're a tough team for a reason. So yeah, you've watched us over the years, you see what we've done in playoffs, and nothing changes for us.
I have head coach Stephanie White going to do a quick statement, then taking questions in the room and then on Zoom. Go ahead, Steph.
Yeah, it was a tough one. I felt like, our fourth quarter, our defensive energy and intensity was really good. We did a great job of getting stops. We made some plays down the stretch. They just made one more play, a heck of a shot. Certainly by Carleton. They're a tough team because they can score at all 5 positions the way they spread the floor. We had some inconsistencies throughout the second and third quarter that hurt us. But I'm proud of our team's effort in the fourth to get back in the ball game and put us in position to win. We just couldn't finish it out, and they made a heck of a play.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about what went into the decision to go small there to close out the fourth?
At the time, we felt Breezy was getting a little tired. She had played a lot of minutes, and we thought she was getting a little fatigued. And Minnesota's a team that we traditionally have played a lot more small ball with. And it gave us some flexibility defensively to be a little bit more versatile, to be able to play them a different way. And, you know, it was effective for us on the defensive end of the floor, and we spread the floor. So we were able to spread them out a little bit more and get some good looks.
It seemed like the defense got a little bit discombobulated early on and then really locked in that fourth. Just what kind of adjustment did you make going into that quarter after coming out of the third?
Just when we went small, we just did a lot more switching. You know, the biggest thing for us is being aggressive, you know, at the point. I felt like, you know, throughout the course of the game, particularly in the second and third quarter, we allowed them to kind of get the ball wherever they wanted to. We allowed them to pass the ball around the perimeter. We weren't as disruptive. We weren't aggressive in our switches. We were a little soft. And we picked up our intensity in the fourth quarter. And that's something that just has to be there for 40 minutes, no matter what coverage we're in, no matter what lineups on the floor.
Coach Nafisa Collier had 25 points, 11 of 16 from the field today. What makes her such a challenge made her such a challenge today for the team to stop?
She's not just a challenge today. You know, she's a challenge every day. You know, she's skilled. She's really skilled. She's versatile. She can score in a lot of different ways. She's smart, high IQ. She never plays outside of herself. She makes the right reads, you know, and they have the pieces around her that fit. You know, she hit a big three, and I don't remember if it was third or fourth quarter. She had a big three. Obviously, she made a big play, but her efficiency, you know, her ability to play all over the floor, and play at a high level for a lot of minutes, you know, is key. But she's just a hell of a player, an MVP caliber player.
Obviously, you never want to lose. And AT's Heron said that, you know, she's glad they had this game and they were able to come back and not quite at the end, but to come back and show that they could come out of the hole. What do you hope the team takes out of this heading into the next Thursday in playoffs?
I think just my mindset, you know, we did fight back. We did position ourselves to win. We did execute in time and score situations. We strung, you know, multiple stops together against one of the best offensive teams in the league. You know, I think we got to take that. You know, I think the biggest continue to be growth area for us is just we have to do that consistently. It's going to be a game of runs, and you know, it's for 40 minutes, it's going to be a game of runs. We just can't have as many lapses. You know, I think in the second and third quarter, there wasn't one time where we scored back-to-back buckets, right? So when we get stops, we've got to be able to get scores, and we got to put it together on both ends of the floor more consistently.
Hey, Coach. You always talk about you always are playing for the long game. With everything that's going on right now, how much is rest for your players, especially your veteran players, going to play a part in Thursday's game?
I think it plays a part in every game at this time of the year. You know, certainly we, you know, we're always really mindful of that when we're given time off or when we're having mental days. You know, that might just be film or walkthrough. You know, it's a tough balance because you can't allow you got to still have preparation, right? So we've got to balance both of those things, and I feel like we've done a fairly good job of that. We work really closely with our athletic training staff, and they have, you know, eyes on pretty much everything that we need to from a fatigue standpoint and injury standpoint, and communicate with us, and collectively we make decisions.
Any other questions? Last question, Vic.
Hey, Steph, you said like you executed offensively down the stretch. Is that was like a great sign going forward, right? Like to, you know, one time DB was inbounding the ball, and then the next time they inbounded it to her and she scored. Like you did a lot of different things really well at the end of the game. Is that something to take from this?
Yeah, it is. I mean, you know, we've got to be able to execute after timeout, you know, really well. There are times where we're better than others. I thought at the end of the game, we were particularly good. When we were able to get stops, we were able to get out in transition. It's going to be something that's critical. And, you know, when you're playing championship caliber teams, you've got to do that more often than not, because they make you pay for every mistake. You know, Minnesota is one of those teams. Vegas is one of those teams, certainly that we just played. You know, New York is one of those teams that these teams that are perennially fighting for championships. Your margin for error is smaller. And so for us, we got to be able to put a full 40 together. Thank you.